Harsh Panchwani. Today we are going to study the chapter 3 of a book that is Miss Slippery. Let's begin the story. I got ready and went to school. In the first period of our class teacher, who taught us English, told us to take out our composition notebooks. I took out the mathematics notebooks made by mistake. I replaced it quickly but the teacher perhaps had kept her gaze fixed on me. She shouted, "Come here with your book." Silly, I obeyed her, but her angry looks made my legs tremble. When I reached her chair, the notebook fell on her feet. Some girls laughed loudly. The teacher thought I dropped the notebook on purpose. She stared at me with an all-devouring look. "Go and stand near your seat," she yelled. I kept standing, punished for the whole period. The next was history class and my favorite subject. The teacher had asked us to memorize the causes and effects of Battle of Panipat. I was well prepared. She began testing all of us one by one. When my turn came, I went blank. The teacher gave me a stern stare. Well, while I stood there still with my head hanging down in shame. Mama and Papa continued their never-ending tiffs. Papa used every opportunity to express his annoyance. Mama, on her part, did not allow any such occasion to slip without turning it into a vociferous quarrel. The quarrel was between the two, but the punishment inevitably descended on a third one, that is me at school. Wherever and whenever I heard raised voices, I felt as if Mama and Papa were quarreling. Something even in the midst of silence, Mama's screams came piercing through my ears. And whenever I heard Mama's high-pitched yells, my legs quivered. One day I was coming down the school stairs. Somebody from the top gave a frantic scream. I fell. I fell and came tumbling down about 7 steps. My elbows and knees were badly bruised. My new frock was torn at the seams. When I reached home, Mama shouted, "I am sick of you. When you will stop making me pay through my nose for such extravagant losses?" Mother seized me by the arm, gave me a good jerk and seated me on the bed. She fetched an antiseptic lotion and applied it to my elbow and knees, but did not hug me. Within me lingered the yearning and that she would hold me and console me. Even if she had given me just a sympathetic pat, my smarting limbs would have been soothed. My younger brother was close by. As Mama walked away to the kitchen, he came and sat beside me. He placed his little hand on my arm and whispered, "Are you in great pain?" I hugged him tight, started crying again. I used to walk quite cautiously, yet I would often stumble. One day the class monitress announced, "We'll call her Slippery." Others slip on wet ground. Siley manages to slip even on dry land. That provided the other girls of the class new scope for fun. They teased me with the new title every day soon. A verse was composed in my honor. Slippery, slippery, slipping without muck. Ask her the simplest question, no answer is your luck. I lived in perpetual fear of everyone, the girls, the teachers, the young and the old. When I was in class, I dared not move out, and when I was outside, I was afraid of re-entering the class. Nor could I muster the courage to speak to anyone. The part 2 of the lesson is the bell had already rung. When I reached the school, the teacher was in the classroom. I sought permission to enter. The teacher wore a frown on her face, but she let me enter and told me see her in the teacher's room. After the class, her tone was not of annoyance or anger, yet an unknown fear made me nervous. Reassuring myself that she was kind-hearted teacher and would not punish me, I reached the teacher's room with hesitant steps. The teacher greeted me with a smile and asked me to sit by her side. Her tender tone turned my sighs into sobs. She pulled her chair close to mine and patting me on the head, she said, "What makes you cry, my child?" "I haven't said a word to you." After a brief pause, she continued, "Tell me what your trouble is. Confide in me, for am I not like a sister to you?" A rare thrill ran through my entire frame. For a moment, I felt I should cling to her and cry, of course. I did not do so, but I kept gazing at her with tearful eyes. Tenderly, teacher continued, "Do you know the meaning of Didi? It means elder sisters. Won't you tell your sister your troubles?" Amid sobs again. "The girls keep teasing me," she laughed. Why are you scared of them? If you cry like this, they will pester you all the time. So ignore them. Who is your friend? I shook my head and teacher smiled. It seemed the teacher had poured her smile into my eyes. Like to be my friend, she said. The bell rang. She rose with a tender pat on my back. She said, listen, you were a sister, alright? Now you are a friend too. But like my friends, to be brave. You have got to try to be brave. I'll always stand by you. Rest assured, my little pal. Now rise and hop off to your class. Excitement made my face flush. Red hot to the ear tips. Never before had annoyed lavished love on me thus. And here was my teacher who had spontaneously accepted me as a sister, a friend. I was beyond myself with joy. I wanted to chuckle to burst into near hysterical laughter. On winged feet, I ran onto my class. Soon I was lost in a rose reverie. I forgot that I was sitting in a class of wild girls whose prime pastime was teasing me. During the break, the water bottle that I was drinking from fell on me and I got fully drenched right in front of stood Maya and Chanda, laughing away to their hearts. Content Chanda teased from the slippery hands of Slippery. The slippery bottle went slip, slip, slip. And now let's watch the fun, said Veena. I was squeezing the water out of my wet frock, remembering the teacher's words. I turned my back to them and ignored them completely. They were nonplussed and went away. I sensed a feeling of victory. Before the school closed for the day, the teacher came to my classroom again and said to me, from today you are going to be responsible for bringing the register chalk and duster every morning. Come take this key, carry these notebooks to the teacher's room. Count them and keep them in drawer. Ask the person to show you my drawer. My otherwise trembling legs were now filled with some miraculous strength. I rushed enthusiastically and completed the assigned job in a jiffy. When I placed the keys to the teacher's table, she looked to me and smiled. I smiled back. I was thrilled from top to toe. I felt my little heart inflate with pride. I found no awkwardness in moving about in my still wet frock, nor was there any trace of fear while returning home. The story was written by Hiranandani. Popti Hiranandani. So the moral of the story here is you need to be brave and confident. Otherwise, the people near you would not let you live because life is always difficult. And always a good friend could help you to come out of all difficult situations. So a friend in need is a friend indeed. And always the thing is that friends could get you out of any situation. Here the teacher acted as his friend and got her confidence back and told her how to live life near bad people. So here is the thing, if you are weak, the people will try to come above you, but if you are strong, the people will always be with you and respect you, I must say. Thank you so much. Here will end the chapter. Thank you.